Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Endless Courage. I have some notes here for you. So it's three cases that you'll be seeing. So the first case is basically demand for non-payment of rent. And I put the total at the corner just so you can see how much is actually owed with court costs. So the defendant says that she has new information for her Social Security. So as soon as she gets that information updated, she can pay. And she has made some payments. The second case, the defendant is trying to figure it out and doesn't qualify for resources. The third case was a bit all over the place. The defendant says she hasn't made payment due to being locked out of the account. It's a mobile home lock case, and they want possession of the rented premises and have the trailer moved off the lot. The manager of the lot comes on to say that she offered, once they paid off the trailer, to help them sell it or they could themselves. The defendant alleges she was offered cash for keys. She also tried to get assistance but was told she makes too much, even though she works part-time and her spouse is having her check garnished. So yeah, I don't know like the specifics of her spouse being her check being garnished, even though she's not on the lease. I think that's kind of weird, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like and subscribe.
We've got the manager at Erie Street, and we have the manager at St. Joe River. Good morning, Mr. Bradshaw.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We're a little behind, but not terrible. Let's go to our advice of rights. Ms. Koy and Ms. Peddler, you are defendants in a landlord-tenant proceeding. You have certain legal rights in that case, one of which is your right to have a right to hire a lawyer. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can ask legal aid to represent you. And normally they're here with us, but we're doing this on an odd day. So the legal aid representative is not here. You have their number, and if you wish to call them, you can contact them or seek other legal advice. You have a right to have the case. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County, where the property is located. You have a right to demand a jury trial. If you do wish to have a jury trial, you have to tell the court at this first court appearance or file a written demand within 5 days and be prepared to pay the $50 jury demand fee, unless the judge waives the fee for your inability to pay. If it is a demand for non-payment of rent, which both of these are, you do have the right to seek assistance, financial emergency housing assistance. There frankly isn't very much of it left. It was quite prevalent during COVID, but there are a few sources. One is the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. One is a local coordinated entry agency in our county, that's Community Action. Housing Assessment and Resource Agency, that's Neighborhoods, Inc. There are federal help from homeless veterans. If you are a veteran, we sent that information to you. Ms. Koy, would you sit down in one spot? You're making me dizzy here.
Yes.
I'm gonna get vertigo and file out of my chair. All right, you have your legal assistant there with you. All right, you do not need a judgment against you to receive such help. The summons and complaint are sufficient, despite what the DHS might tell you, and you've already received that. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. And if both parties are interested, the court can help set that up. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord that means the case would get dismissed. Mr. Bradshaw's firm does a lot of these conditional order of dismissals. And if such an agreement could be reached, perhaps a conditional order of dismissal would be filed. So Ms. Koy is first at 1040. File number is 251429. And the manager from St. Joe River is here. He's listed as user. I forgot your name, sir. What's your name? Well, I don't know his name.
Daniel Harley.
Okay. All right, this is demand for non-payment of rent. This wasn't terribly behind at the time of filing, but it was over $1,700. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the current status?
For Miss Koy, Your Honor, the current amount due through the month of July is $733 in rent. There's $182.23 in court costs. So the total amount due through the month of July is $915.23.
Ms. Coy, do you agree with that?
Yes.
Are you going to try to pay it?
Yeah. Yes. I had to get a right to canvass to give Social Security my new information that they would give me my back pay. That I'm going to pay it.
All right. It looks like you've made some payment.
Well, the
The law,
yeah, sorry.
the law requires that I adjourn this, and I'm going to adjourn it to Tuesday, July 29th at 10:10. Mr. Bradshaw, again, that's an odd date for us. Can you accommodate that time and date?
Yeah, we'll make it work somehow, Your Honor. And in the meantime, we'll do some homework and try to determine what the issues are as far as payment, when it can be paid, and try to come up with a conditional dismissal that will satisfy everyone.
Do you hear that, Ms. Coy?
Yes.
All right, they may be contacting you to see if they can work out some sort of agreement. If they can, could do a conditional order of dismissal. Of course, if you pay, then we don't need to worry about it. And then your rent will be due on August 1st as it is the first of each month. So we're going to do this again. You logged in early and on time, and I could see you, and I appreciate that. We're going to do it again on Friday, July 29th at 10:10. You should get a new notice for that. Do you have any questions?
Not right now.
All right, stay in contact with your manager, and Mr. Bradshaw's office may be contacting you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, stay inside with air conditioner on, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. All right, next is Kelly Peddler. Same circumstance, different complex. This is Erie Street Apartments, what we used to know as. It's now Three Rivers Limited. File number is 251432. Mr. John Bradshaw is here for the plaintiff. Kelly Peddler is here. And the manager. And again, I've forgotten your name.
Hxllo.
This is also a non-payment of rent case. This looks like market rent, $881. And there's a substantial arrearage. Mr. Bradshaw, what's the status here?
So yes, Your Honor, and Ms. Peddler, the current amount due through the month of July is $2,653 in rent. There's $183.28 in court costs. So the total due through July is $2,836.28. That is $2,836.28.
What was the rent portion?
$2,653.
All right, Ms. Peddler, do you agree with that?
Yes.
What's your plan?
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm not really sure at this point.
All right, let's talk about that. I gave you a couple of resources to ask for emergency financial assistance. I'm going to adjourn this matter. I usually adjourn it 7 days. I'm going to adjourn it 15 days.
I did try to get assistance and I can't qualify through DHS for any assistance.
Well, the law requires that you pay the entire amount or you're subject to being evicted,
Right.
which is rough.
Yeah.
So you may need to plan to move to another place. When
Yeah.
we have the hearing on July, it will be July 29th at 10:20.
Okay.
And if you can't pay the rent, you would have 10 days from that day to vacate or be subject to being evicted.
Okay.
Now, my advice is always the same. Stay in contact with your manager and let them know what your intentions are. And if you can't afford to stay there and you do, you need to turn in your keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving.
Okay.
Now, our next hearing is July 29th. You would get 10 days from that day to vacate or be subject to being evicted.
Okay.
And that would give you until August 8th to move before you'd be subject to being evicted.
Okay.
Ma'am,
All right.
Peddler,
Do you have
does Shana know have your contact information, your email, and your phone number? Does she have?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll get that from her, and I'll be in contact with you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right. I think that finishes the Bradshaw cases. And you guys are good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you. See you next time. All right. We've had a host of people join us for our next batch, including Meg Bauer is here. Meg, as you know, that we don't usually do these on Wednesdays. I just assumed you were caught up somewhere else. And here we are.
Judge, is it possible that you can put me and Miss Pantoja in a breakout room? I have actually been communicating with Miss Pantoja and Caitlin and Scott to see if we can't resolve that matter.
Do you want me to put you all in the same breakout room?
I know what Scott's offer is. I just wanted to make sure Miss Pantoja got logged in on time, so I haven't been able to.
So, all right, Miss Pantoja, would you unmute your mic?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to put you and your lawyer in a breakout room. In the meantime, I'll skip ahead to the next case and we'll come back to you guys. Good morning, Ms. Thornton and Mr. Larkins. I'll be with you in a minute.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, now we have several other defendants who are here for our 11 o'clock cases. Let's see who's here. We have Harley. Harley Polling, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. Why? All right, I got Harley Polling. Then I have Shannon's Galaxy Note. Who am I speaking with?
Harley Polling.
No, I got you. I'm trying to identify our next person. Shannon, somebody. Then I have Adriana Smith. That would be Chet Anding.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, let me give you a correct name. And I still can't figure out who Shannon's Galaxy Note
Can you
is.
hear us?
Yes,
Okay, we are Shannon, the Galaxy Note,
yes.
Shannon and Linda Case. We should have TBF.
All right.
I can't barely hear you.
Oh, I can hear me. Let me see. Linda, what's your name now?
Shannon and Linda Case.
Okay. Let me give you.
Put on speaker somehow. Let me see. How to do it? I can hear him. Okay, there. This is the first time we've ever used it.
All right. Well, you're an expert now, so let me bring in the next person.
I don't want to.
That's not good.
No.
All right, I got a bunch of defendants here. Good morning, Mr. Burns. We're waiting on some other parties, but while I do that, let me advise Ms. Poling, the cases, and Mr. Anding of their rights as a tenant in the landlord-tenant proceeding. You've all been brought to court on a landlord-tenant proceeding, either a termination of tenancy or a non-payment of rent. I think these are all non-payment of rent cases. As such, you have certain legal rights. You have the right to hire an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, a legal aid attorney may be available to help you. Or you can seek other legal assistance. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You have a right to demand a jury trial. So far in my 40 plus years, nobody's ever done that, but maybe someday somebody will. And if you do demand a jury trial, you have to do it today or file the demand within 5 days. And in either case, be prepared to pay the $50 jury demand fee unless the judge waives it for your inability to pay it. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from a residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a local coordinated entry agency, a housing assessment and resource agency, or a veterans program. We sent that information to you. You do not need a judgment against you to receive the assistance from the places listed above. Copy of the summons and complaint from your case are sufficient. You may be able to reach an agreement with a landlord by going through mediation. If both parties are interested, the court can assist in that process. And you may be able to reach an agreement which would result in the filing of what's called a conditional order of dismissal, and the court could assist in that. So let me address this also.
On that
This is
website,
filed.
you find it.
All right, Ms. Poling, we're going to do your case. Ms. Poling?
Yes.
All right, focus. We're about to address your matter. Centerville Mobile Park versus Haley Poling. The file number is 251415. Attorney Michael Burns is here for the plaintiff. The manager is also here from the park, Jessica. And the defendant via Zoom. We had another one of these this morning, Mr. Burns. It was another law firm. Your firm also does a lot of cases around the state. This is a non-payment of rent case in a mobile home lot only case, which we're not even sure can be done, but we've been struggling with it.
And to that end, Your Honor, I know a couple other district court judges have brought that to our attention. We've briefed this issue regarding the non-payment of rent case versus just cause cases, specifically relating to manufactured home non-payment of rent cases on lot rent. If the court is interested, I don't mind sending a generic brief, or if the court wants it specific to this case.
I'd like to see it. in fact, put this heading on it and send it.
Yes, Your Honor.
We had, as you heard, we had a large discussion of this at the judge conference in Detroit in May. And judges were all over the place and we didn't come to an answer. So judges were going to start having the law firms brief it. The consensus was we either needed a court of appeals decision or a change in the statute or court rule. But I'd be more than happy to see your brief, and I would ask that you would send me one.
Yes, Your Honor.
So
What would
let's
you like the
talk
heading to
about
be?
let's talk about this. What is the arrearage here?
Your Honor, we're claiming rent to retain of $2,224.44, costs in the total of $170.05 for a total of $2,394.49.
Through July.
That is through July, Your Honor.
The other question, Mr. Burns, becomes what's the relief?
The relief, Your Honor, is possession of the rented premises. So we're not asking for possession of the manufactured home itself,
I
Your Honor.
understand. So then somebody's got to move the trailer off the lot.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Poling, what's your position?
We weren't even aware that we could move the trailer off the lot or told anything of such. We haven't been able to make payments on rent because they have our account closed to either full payment or no payment at all. I have paperwork showing our bank statements. My wife has a garnishment on her paychecks, and she missed 2 court dates, so I had to bail her out, which is $500 a piece.
What's her name?
Brittany Poling.
Is she on the lease also?
No. They never put her on the lease.
At least you have a lease, which was better than one of the cases I was dealing with earlier. There's another way to do this, to file a just cause termination for 3 lates in a 12-month period, in which case the order would say you would have 10 days to move and 90 days to move or sell the mobile home. Some firms choose to do it this way. It made sense during COVID because they could get emergency housing assistance and they could redeem.
I tried to get assistance through DHS and they just straight up denied me. Said we made too much, even though my wife has a garnishment on her check and I only work 22 hours a week. Because I'm mentally disabled.
Well, you seem to be doing quite well here.
It just keeps me from working a lot. I can't work too much.
All right. All right. Well, the law requires that I continue this matter to at least 7 days, but I'm moving everything to the 29th. So I'm going to continue this to July 29, 2025 at 10:50. Now, if you can't pay the rent within 10 days of July 29th, they're going to ask me to allow them to move your trailer off the lot.
I wasn't even aware that we own the trailer. They told us to get caught up on rent, and then we owed $2,000 more to own the trailer. The offer that they were giving us was $1,000 for our keys.
Oh, they offered cash for keys?
Yeah.
Well, that could be a pretty good deal.
Your Honor.
Yes?
They do not own the trailer as of yet. And on the lease, it states that the mobile homes cannot be moved. So her option would be if they were to pay off the mobile home, then, and if they get evicted still for non-payment of the lot rent and stuff, then we would either help them sell the mobile home or they would have to sell it on their own.
I don't think you can do this. I don't think you can do what you're doing legally. Ms. Bauer, they could
I am
benefit.
happy to consult with them, with the defendants. We will have a settlement to put on the record, so the defendants might have to wait, but I'm absolutely happy to consult with the litigants.
From my understanding, she still owes on the mobile home.
All right.
Can we possibly meet up with the is she the attorney or?
Yes, you just stay here with, and either way, we're going to continue this matter until July 29th at 10:50. Ms. Poling, you just stick with me. And when we finish Ms. Bauer's other case, I'll let you speak to her privately in a breakout room.
Okay.
So I'm not sure I even have all my facts straight. It's apparently rental purchase. I'm not sure what we got here. But this action is for lot only. This firm and at least one other firm, probably several others, have briefed this issue, but there's no court ruling on it. There's no district court ruling that I'm aware of. There's no circuit court ruling, and there's certainly no court of appeals ruling. But we'll see. We'll muddle our way through the weeds and try to get to a solution.
And to that end, Your Honor, for the brief, do you want me to submit it generally to the court as a blank, or do you want it included as part of this case record?
I'd like you to put this heading on it.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and that'll help.
Judge, just because I was slow to start taking my notes, adjourn to July 29th.
Yes. Again, that's an odd day, Meg. That's a Tuesday. But this Wednesday and that Tuesday are because of my trip.
I've got Tuesday on my calendar.
All right, thanks. All right, thank you, Mr. Burns. I'll see you next time.
That was good, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
All right, we're going to go back to the case that we had tabled here for a minute. Richmond. Miss Richmond, Mr. Poway did call, and I told him to come back at 11, so I'll call him when we go on the other case. Let's recall the matter of Larkins v. Kurth. File number is 251309 LT. Let me list all the players. Caitlin Thornton, the manager, property manager, is here. Mr. Larkins, the owner. Meg Bauer. And Lindsay Pantoja, who is the occupant but not the leaseholder. We discussed this matter at length last.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. May I be dismissed since this is not a.
Yes, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.